You know, when you sent in this Python script
Uh-huh.
from GitHub, I have to admit the idea of AI agents, like actually working as a team, it really piqued my curiosity.
Yeah,
It's like a whole new level of problem solving, isn't it?
it is. It really is.
Yeah.
Um, y- this project really exemplifies kind of a shift, you know?
Hmm.
We're moving from solo AI to this idea of collaborative intelligence. Instead of a single entity trying to tackle a problem, you have multiple AI agents, each with its own, viewpoint, I guess you could say, working in concert.
Okay, so walk me through it. How does this virtual think tank
Right.
actually function if I throw a question at it? What's happening? What's going on behind the scenes?
So imagine each agent as an independent expert.
Okay.
So you pose your question,
Uh-huh.
and each agent formulates its own unique answer. Drawing on its own knowledge base, there is no collaboration at this stage, which ensures that you get a diverse range of initial responses.
So it's like a simultaneous brainstorming session, but instead of colleagues huddled around a whiteboard, we've got algorithms firing off ideas.
Precisely. Now here's where the real magic starts. Instead of just accepting their initial answers as is,
Right.
these agents go through almost like a rigorous self-evaluation phase. They meticulously double-check facts. They try to identify any gaps. They even go so far as to reference external sources,
Yeah.
just for validation.
So they're essentially fact-checking themselves.
Absolutely.
That's a reassuring thought, no more blindly trusting whatever the AI throws at us.
Right. It's like having a built-in quality control mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets even more interesting. Once they're satisfied with their individual findings, they turn into,
Almost like a review board.
they start critiquing each other's work.
Now that's what I call teamwork. Do they actually point out each other's flaws?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Each agent scrutinizes the other's responses, identifying any inconsistencies, omissions, or areas that lack clarity.
That's fascinating because it suggests that this system, even though it's AI-driven, understands the value of constructive criticism, just like in a real-world team, right?
Yeah.
Holding each other accountable leads to a higher quality of work. I'm curious, how does this critique actually translate into improvement?
This is where the code gets really interesting. If you'll indulge my inner techie for a moment.
By all means, please do, yeah.
If you look at the agent interaction module, you'll notice that each critique is translated into, a weighted score, basically. This score represents the severity of the critique, and it directly influences how the agent refines its initial response.
Uh-huh.
So a minor suggestion might just lead to a minor tweak, while a major flaw triggers a more substantial revision.
That's a clever approach, ensuring that the level of refinement is proportional to the significance of the feedback. It's not just about identifying flaws, it's about quantifying their impact and then using that data to guide the revision process.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this whole cycle of critique and refinement, it can repeat multiple times,
Yeah.
leading to a progressively more accurate and nuanced answer.
It's like they're polishing a rough diamond, each round of feedback chipping away at imperfections to reveal a more brilliant final product. So we have all these individually refined answers, each one a product of meticulous self-evaluation and peer review. What happens next?
So that's where the system's remarkable ability to synthesize information comes into play.
Yeah.
But I think we need to take a moment to unpack that in our next segment. Picking up where we left off. You're right. Just having a collection of individual answers, no matter how refined they might be, wouldn't be very useful on its own.
Right.
Right.
The real challenge lies in weaving those individual strands of insight into a single, coherent, and insightful response.
It's like having all the pieces of a puzzle, but needing that final click to see the complete picture. How does this system achieve that final synthesis?
This is where the model they chose really shines. Remember how each agent uses a GPT model for its initial reasoning and refinement? Well, the system employs a similar approach for the synthesis stage, but with a focus on harmonizing information rather than generating it from scratch. So it's like having a conductor who takes the individual melodies of each instrument and blends them into a harmonious symphony.
Exactly. This master GPT model, it analyzes all the refined answers, identifies any common threads, resolves any remaining discrepancies, and ultimately presents you with the most comprehensive and insightful answer possible. But you know what truly sets this system apart?
What's that?
It's its commitment to your satisfaction. It doesn't just assume it got it right.
You're talking about the feedback loop, right? The system actually asks for my input on the answer it provides. That's a refreshing change. It's not just about delivering information. It's about ensuring that information is truly valuable to me.
Precisely. The system genuinely cares about your understanding. It presents its synthesized answer with a simple question. Was this helpful?
Talk about keeping the AI accountable. It's like having a dedicated research team that's eager to hear how they can improve. So what happens if I tell the system that the answer wasn't quite what I was looking for?
The day goes back to work.
Really?
Remember those iterative cycles of refinement we discussed?
Yeah.
The system leverages those same cycles, but this time it incorporates your feedback into the process.
So if I point out that the answer is missing a certain angle, or that I need more clarity on a specific point, the agents will actually go back and refine their individual responses based on my feedback.
Precisely.
Oh.
It's like having a conversation with a team of experts who are wholly invested in your understanding. They're not satisfied until you are. But there's another layer to this system that I find particularly intriguing.
Okay, what's that?
Its ability to retain context.
Ah, yes. This was something that really caught my eye. When I was reading about this project, it's not just about answering individual questions in isolation. It's about understanding the flow of a conversation, right?
Absolutely. You see, most question-answering systems treat each query as a standalone event. But this system, if you choose, can retain the context of your previous interactions.
So it's like it remembers what we've already discussed.
Yeah.
It builds upon that shared understanding as the conversation progresses.
You got it. With context retention enabled, the system doesn't just see your current question in isolation. It sees it as a continuation of your thought process.
Interesting.
This allows the agents to provide even more relevant and nuanced answers, taking into account your previous questions and their own evolving understanding of the topic.
That's remarkable. It moves us closer to a more natural, intuitive way of interacting with AI, almost like collaborating with a team of colleagues who are already up to speed on your thought process. But I imagine all this back and forth, all these cycles of refinement and context retention, must put a significant strain on processing power.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But the developers have addressed this brilliantly through parallel processing.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about each agent working independently?
Right.
Well, that's not just a conceptual framework. It's woven into the very architecture of the system.
So while one agent is busy refining its response based on feedback, another could be simultaneously cross-referencing facts with external sources.
Yes, exactly. By distributing the workload across multiple processing units. The system ensures that you're not left waiting for an answer. Even with all this complex reasoning happening behind the scenes, this parallel processing power, combined with the system's commitment to accuracy in your understanding, paints a very exciting picture of the future of AI interaction.
It truly does. It's like having a team of hyper-efficient researchers at your beck and call, working tirelessly to provide you with the most accurate and insightful answers possible. But before we get too carried away with the possibilities, let's take a moment to consider the broader implications of this technology. What does it mean for the future of problem solving, for human-AI collaboration, and even for the very nature of knowledge itself? I think we need a final segment to unpack that. You know, it's easy to get caught up in the technical intricacies of this multi-agent system. But stepping back, what I find truly profound is its reflection of human collaboration. You know, we thrive on diverse perspectives, on challenging each other's assumptions, and building upon shared knowledge. This system seems to have captured that essence.
It is. It's a fascinating parallel, isn't it? This code, in a way, it deconstructs and then reconstructs the process we humans go through when we collaborate to solve problems or seek understanding, right? And that opens up some really intriguing possibilities.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it makes you wonder if this system can already achieve such a sophisticated level of reasoning and refinement. What could the future hold?
Well, the potential applications are vast. I mean, imagine this technology being used to address complex global challenges like a team of AI agents collaborating to model climate change scenarios or develop sustainable energy solutions, or even predict and mitigate the spread of diseases.
It's like having a global brain trust, working tirelessly behind the scenes to find solutions to some of humanity's most pressing problems.
Right, but it's not just about tackling grand challenges, is it? This technology could revolutionize how we approach everyday decision-making as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like imagine having access to a personalized team of AI advisors, each with its own area of expertise, helping you navigate complex financial decisions, plan a trip, or even choose the best career path.
It's like having a personalized research team on call, ready to provide data-driven insights. and diverse perspectives to help you make more informed choices.
That's exactly it.
And it's not just about problem solving or decision making either. Imagine the creative possibilities.
Now you're speaking my language.
Right.
Imagine collaborating with an AI team to write a novel, compose a symphony, or design a groundbreaking new product. Each agent could contribute its own unique style, while the system as a whole ensures coherence and refines the final output.
It's like having a team of co-creators, constantly bouncing ideas off each other and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. This multi-agent system really does offer a glimpse into a future where human-AI collaboration could lead to breakthroughs in countless fields.
And that's why deep dives like this are so crucial. By understanding the intricacies of these systems, exploring their potential benefits, and engaging in thoughtful discussions about their implications, we can help shape a future where AI augments and amplifies human intelligence, leading us to new frontiers of knowledge and understanding.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the fascinating world of multi-agent reasoning. But this is just the beginning of the conversation. We encourage you to explore the source code we discussed, ponder the possibilities, and let us know your thoughts. Until next time, keep asking those big questions.